What's the difference between OLED versus QLED? You've likely encountered these tech terms while scouring the web for a new TV, but understanding the key differences between them isn't always easy. Neither an OLED TV nor a QLED TV is better than the other. Instead, the one that's right for you will depend on several factors, including whether the TV tech will work in the space you have at home, if it lines up with your viewing preferences, and of course, if it's within your budget. Even when it comes to performance, what makes a premium picture and top quality watching experience isn't the same for everyone. Some people might prefer the deep and detailed shadows of the best OLED TVs, others would opt for the rich quantum dot color and high brightness of the best QLED TVs. Whether you're hoping to find one of the best 85-inch TVs to create a cinema-like experience, one of the best gaming TVs for PS5 and Xbox Series X to make the most of your next-gen console, or a smart screen with one of the best 32-inch TVs for a spare room, we'll steer you in the right direction. OLED versus QLED, the current state of TV tech. The biggest and best TV makers like LG, Panasonic, Philips, Sony, and Vizio all make OLED TVs. This is why OLED is the most widely supported premium display panel tech you'll find in TVs right now, and it's getting cheaper. QLED TVs are mostly made by Samsung, though you'll find them from other brands too like Sony, Hisense, TCL, and Vizio. Our Samsung Q95B review and Samsung Q900B review will give you a good idea of what to expect from the best QLED TVs on the market right now. It's also worth mentioning a newer technology called QD OLED TVs. This combines the best of both worlds, using a blue OLED panel with a quantum dot filter to create brighter primary colors. The result is a screen that has better color saturation and better off-axis viewing. These TVs have only recently been brought to the market by Samsung and Sony, with both using display panels made by Samsung. OLED versus QLED, the case for organic LED. We can summarize the OLED versus QLED battle in one sentence. QLED is a tweak of existing LCD technology, while OLED is a whole new technology altogether. OLED stands for Organic Light Emitting Diode. This type of TV uses a carbon-based film between two conductors that emits its own light when an electric current is passed through. Since the pixels themselves are producing the light, when they need to be black, they get switched off completely. That means no chunky LCD backlight, remarkably realistic blacks, so-called infinite contrast, lightning-quick refresh rates, and a muted brightness ideal for movies if dimmed by LED standards. Watching that OLED TV for the first time will give you that rare feeling of having just witnessed something really very special. OLED was only available in a few sizes until recently, but in 2023, many major brands have extended their ranges. QLED versus OLED, the case for quantum dots. QLED isn't a new technology as much as it's a rebrand. Until 2017, Samsung called its flagship TVs SUHD, but that wasn't working as well as it hoped. So, it's now called them QLED, which stands for Quantum Dot Light Emitting Diode. Yep, that's it. Of course, it sounds very similar to OLED, which is confusing, especially when you throw in LG's new QNED range. What's the deal with these names, tech brands? Regardless, QLED is very distinct from OLED in that it isn't self-immersive, which means it doesn't produce its own light and still makes use of a backlight. What makes it quantum, according to Samsung, is that it uses a quantum dot color filter in front of its LCD backlight, which improves brightness, contrast, and color vibrancy. So really, it's not a next-gen display technology at all, but just a tweak to LCD TV tech. However, that doesn't mean it's not impressive. It really is very good. Over the past few years, Samsung has revamped its QLED range, calling it New QLED. This refers to the implementation of a mini LED backlight, which greatly multiplies the number of LEDs used for more precise brightness control, and with the side effect of widening viewing angles and upping potential brightness, as well as reducing blooming. OLED versus QLED, which brands support this TV tech? The battle between OLED and QLED is more of a story about branding than tech. That's because the OLED panels found inside every OLED TV, save the QD OLED ones sold by Samsung and Sony, are made by LG Displays. And QLED TVs have an equally generic display panel origin story. Team OLED. Most TV brands have lined up behind OLED over the past few years, believing it to be the superior technology for picture quality. It's hard to disagree, but despite LG, Sony, Panasonic, TP Vision, Loewe, Bang & Olufsen, Skyworth, and Chang Hong, all now selling OLED TVs, tend to be very expensive, despite the fact prices are improving a little. The maker LG Display hasn't been able to produce enough OLED panels fast enough to bring them in at a lower cost, which is making OLED TVs seem like a top-tier premium TV technology. This has been changing with new and smaller sizes. Brand new LG now have 48-inch and 42-inch size OLED TVs on offer. Increased production should help drop prices too, though Hisense has already ditched the technology after launching a poorly performing Hisense O8B OLED that didn't quite make the best case for the technology. Team QLED. Samsung abandoned its first efforts to make OLED TVs in 2014 due to low production yields, and only started making about QLED back in 2017. It's now trying to popularize the technology by getting other companies involved. Though the brands behind QLED are fewer, they're quickly getting unionized. Samsung, Hisense, and TCL branded together under the QLED Alliance back in 2017 in order to advance QLED development and sell more QLED sets in the world's biggest TV market, China. OLED versus QLED was the best choice for gamers. If you're mainly interested in a television that's good for gaming, we'd encourage you to focus on different criteria than OLED versus QLED. Now that the next-gen PS5 and Xbox Series X consoles are here, and for the most part, more readily available to buy, you'll want to find a TV with HDMI 2.1 ports that can carry 8K video from consoles as well as 4K video at 120Hz. Low input lag isn't always specified on TV product pages, but we recommend keeping an eye out for it nonetheless. OLED sets will be best for achieving natural contrast, and will help make cinematic games look truly breathtaking. LG's OLED TVs also come with Nvidia G-Sync to help smooth out gameplay on screen too. However, QLEDs go a lot brighter and may be better for practical visibility in the games you're playing, drawing out environments and in-game objects clearly. It may depend on what you're playing, but getting a set with low input lag, VRR, and an HDMI 2.1 port will be more than important than the underlying panel technology. OLED versus QLED, which is right for you? Both of these technologies are impressive, but for different reasons. In many ways, QLED is the best choice. You'll get a brighter picture, the TV tends to last longer, they're cheaper, and there's no risk of burn-in, a mark that's left on screen of OLED TVs when displaying images with static graphics like a news network logo. However, if we had to choose one right now, we'd go with OLED. For the majority of people, the benefits of OLED will, at least for the time being, outshine the benefits of QLED. This includes better viewing angles, deeper blacks, and therefore better contrast and less power consumption. They're probably also a better option for gaming. This is especially the case if you're looking for one of the best 55-inch TVs, since both technologies are roughly the same price at that size. But QLED are also making more sense if you're looking for a smaller size or have a smaller budget. OLEDs are still more expensive. You can get the older Samsung Q60R QLED, for example, for only a few £100 at its smallest 43-inch size. OLED versus QLED. What does the future look like? Regardless of our buying advice for you today, it remains the case that things may shake up a lot in the coming years. Even this year, as more new sets for 2023 are released. There are plans afoot to develop QLED sets that ditch the LCD backlight to become self-emissive in a move that could blend the advantages of both OLED and QLED technologies and spell trouble for OLED panel manufacturers like LG Display. True QLED sets are self-emissive as with OLED sets, and they are not in the market but are anticipated to be so in the coming years, says David Tett, market analyst at Future Source Consulting. When it is released, it is expected to provide the strongest challenge to OLED yet, as it brings many of the same benefits as OLED with few potential drawbacks. There were initially rumors for Samsung to release these so-called true QLED sets a few years ago, but they're not here yet. If the future is bright for QLED, those behind OLED panels are hoping that one of the technology's native characteristics, flexibility, wins the day. OLED sets can offer new audio solutions that see the panel vibrate to create sound and could also offer new form factors, both due to their flexible nature of the panel, says Tett. This is nowhere clearer than the LG's rollable OLED, the LG Signature Series OLED R, which is able to curl up into the television's base. For now, it's OLED that takes the crown for the best and most expensive TV tech around. But unless LG Display can up its production rate and create more screen sizes, as it's beginning to do, the immediate future of the mainstream TV could still belong to QLED. So, that wraps up our video. Hope you found this video helpful, and if so, please leave a thumbs up as I always appreciate that. Let us know in the comments down below which you're going to choose. Thanks for watching, and that's all for this video. If you like this video, and it helped you in any way, please get this video a like, and if you don't want to miss out on any future videos, subscribe to the channel. Hope to see you in the next video. Till next time, see you guys later.